Hi folks, it's Evo here from Thundermist Lure Company, and welcome to today's episode of Thundermist Fishing Tips. We got a gorgeous day, a nice little chop on the water. What a day to be out. Today folks, I'm going to be running the Sting Nose jigging spoon a little bit differently. And if Bill, if you're tuning in, this episode's for you, because some people say, you know, when they're using jigging spoons, not just the Sting Nose, any jigging spoon, that a lot of times when they're jigging, the hook gets caught on the line. That's normal. So one way to avoid it is tip your jig like I did with an eye drop. Tip it with an eye drop or with a piece of bait, and that changes the fall on the hook and keeps it away from the line. However, there is another little trick you could do. If you look closely at how I rigged this, I rigged it at the head, upside down. If you see here, that's where I normally rig, is right here at the top, and the jig hangs down and the fish hit the head right where the Sting Nose hook is, and of course it's great. But what I've done, instead of doing that, I've hooked it at the head and I'm gonna fish it upside down. Now the advantage with that is, folks, is that the hook doesn't get caught on the line, but the hook is still at the head. If you could see there, the hook is still at the head, and that's where the fish are gonna hit. So I'm still gonna catch fish. So what a great way to fish. And didn't put it through, there's a split ring that holds the hook. I didn't put the snap on the split ring, I put it on the lure ring. So it does not interfere with the hook set at all. So we're gonna fish this a little bit differently. I'm doing this today just for Bill. I normally don't fish like this, but honestly, if you struggle with any jigging spoons with the line getting caught or with the hook getting caught on the line, this little tip is a great way to fish. The only problem is most other spoons don't have the hook at the head, like the Sting Nose, but still, it'll keep your line away from the hook. But in our case, we have every advantage of the Sting Nose because the hook is located at the head, and we're gonna fish it totally 100% free. So I'm gonna just jig it off the bottom like I normally do. Jig it up, let it flutter down. I'm gonna let it hit bottom, jig it back up again, let it flutter down, and let it hit bottom, let it pause for a second, and then jig it back up. And you can try different jigs. A lot of times out here on Lake Erie, I like to use a real high jigging sweeping so that the jig comes up about 6 feet and then drops. And if there's any fish around, you'll be able to see that at a long distance. And I am running today the 1 ounce Sting Nose minnow, and I am tipping it with, what do I get, a goby? I am tipping it with an eye drop, although you don't have to. You could fish the Sting Nose just the way they are, which is perfectly fine. And I'm using the 1 ounce silver. The reason I went with silver, here on Lake Erie, honestly, silver or gold, lately it doesn't seem to matter much because of all the gobies being brownish in color. The gold seems to work. Speaking of gobies, there you go, there's a goby. So a lot of times I'll run a brown or a gold viper spoon because of these guys. And the walleye, the perch, everything, the bass, they're all eating these gobies. And I went with silver because it's really sunny, and the silver is going to reflect that sun very nicely. And this is an invasive species, so if you've never seen them, that's what the gobies look like. Okay, they're not supposed to be here. Of course, they came over on a ship, and I will dispose of him later. But that's the technique, folks. So I'm just going to cast it out a bit, bounce it back, let it jig off the bottom, lift it up, let it flutter down. They hit it on the way down, or sometimes they'll actually pick it up right off the bottom when you pause it on the bottom. But having said that, if the bottom is really rugged and structured, then by all means, don't let it get right down. You could fish these Sting Nose just straight up and down. So drop it down, hit the bottom, then lift it up just off the structure, maybe 6 inches off the bottom, and then just jig it straight up and down and let it flutter down. So that's the technique. I'm casting it out a bit, but you definitely don't have to. It's going to say I'm off to a good start, but not really with a goby. But I'm hoping to get into if there's walleye or bass around or perch. We'll see what's out here today, folks. It's a gorgeous day. I'm going to work these sting nose off the bottom, so stay tuned, folks. Okay. The upside down method has struck, folks. I got something pretty nice out here. I don't know, it's feeling like it might be a sheephead, like a big sheephead. He's fighting like a sheephead, although the big walleye will give you a good tussle too. But when he kind of hit and run like your typical sheephead. So, like I always say, oh boy, one of two choices, folks. Either a big walleye or a sheephead. But the jigging technique works, let's put it that way. Okay, we got to see what we got here, folks. I am running braided line, of course. I've got the Thunder braid on, 20 pound that I have spooled up on this reel. And then of course I've got a fluorocarbon leader, as always, to my sting nose. And then on the sting nose, as I showed you, I just have a single snap. If you're really worried about line twist, you can put a snap swivel, but I don't have any trouble with just a single snap. Less hardware is typically better, right? So, oh boy, come on. Let's see what we got here. Oh. It's strong, whatever it is, folks. It's got to be a sheephead. It's so strong. Big walleye would be a real nice bonus, though. I'll tell you that. Looking a little silver down there, folks. Looking a little silver. Okay? That's what it looks like to me. Looking a little silver. Big sheephead. Wow. Okay. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Hook set right in the mouth. Come on, Mr. Sheephead. There you go. And see you later, Mr. Sheephead. Okay, now he also, as you can see there, he managed to take my eye drop. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to rig another one on there, get it right back down there again. In fact, my line is a little bit frayed here, just a little bit. So you know what I'm going to do? I will retie that. I'll cut off a little bit of line, retie it, get my line back out there again. Okay, we drifted into like 30 feet of water. Wham! I just nailed it. Oh, right on the fall. Now, I don't know if it's starting to fight like a sheephead. Okay, if it's not a sheephead, folks, it's a big walleye, but I don't know, I didn't take that sheephead. Oh yeah, well, that's more like the runs like the sheephead do. But like I say, you get a big walleye, he gives you those fights too. It's way different jigging than it is trolling, folks. Way different. In fact, looks a little silver to me, folks. Looks a little bit silver. Okay, let's bring that sheephead in. Big sheephead. Wow, big swirl. Okay. Okay. Let's get him in. He's got a hooked right in the mouth, folks. Look at that hook set. Isn't that nice? Look at that hook set. Oh, he took my eye drop. That wasn't very nice. Come on. Let's get this. Get the hook. I'm going to get this guy released if I can just grab the hook. Don't really want to put my finger there. Wow, he's gone in a shot. Okay, so he took my, again, I don't need an eye drop. It's an extra attractor though. It adds a little bit of scent. So why not put it on? And I'm just using, I brought all colors, but I'm using the smoked colored eye drop today, folks. There we go. And they're gonna go right back out there again, but was that super exciting? He just nailed it. So what are we gonna call this technique, folks? We have to give it a name. Let's call it upside down jigging. So between me and you and all your friends, maybe we'll start a new fad, a new name for a new technique. We'll call it upside down jigging. So let's see if this upside down jigging can produce another fish. That's a good start though right there. Yeah, we're in about we're 27 feet right now. 27 feet of water, so there must have been just a little break there. That fish was sitting on the break. So I might just bump us back up and work that break again and see if there's any other fish holding there. But that was super exciting. Okay, little cast to the back of the boat, folks. Oh, I just lost him. I think it was a little bass, a little smallmouth. I decided to put a little chartreuse side drop on, and my first cast, I just cast it to the back of the boat a little bit. I think I had myself a small bass, and that's okay. I would have released him anyway. There's another pickup, folks, and a solid hit. Oh, upside down jigging. Oh, I think it's another sheephead. Oh my goodness. He just nailed it. Wow. Feels like a good one too. They're so much fun to catch, if it is a sheephead. I'm thinking it is just by the way he's fighting. They're strong, folks. Strong, strong fish. Just a strong fish. Come on, let's see what you got here. We're in 27 feet of water. It's not that deep. Not that deep. Okay, I get a glimpse of them. I can't really see with this glare of the sun. I took my glasses off. Is it looking a little silver? It's looking a little silver down there, folks. I see some silver flash. Yep. Got Mr. Sheephead. he nailed it. Look at that. Right in the mouth, right in the lip. Okay, let's get him released right here at the side of the boat. Come on, buddy. There he is, folks, right there. Let's get him released. It's just in that tough part of the mouth. There he goes. See you later, Mr. Sheephead. Okay, so I'm gonna keep jigging because this is a riot, folks. But I tell you what, upside down jigging. Gonna start a new fad. If you're having trouble with the line hooking up to the hook hooking onto your line, it's a good alternative. And you know what? It's still a lot of fun. Folks, wherever you're tuning in from, another method for you to try. I want to thank you for joining me on today's episode of Thundermist Fishing Tips. And as always, folks, until next time, good luck and good fishing. What a riot out here.